Welcome to the Engineering Podcast, a podcast from the engineers at Rocket.Chat. We'll be discussing new implementations, problems faced, what's coming, and everything else related to our daily work, always with a technical perspective to keep you up to date.
Welcome all. I'm Rodrigo Nascimento, your host as always. No, wait, that's for the other guy. Anyways, hey guys, I'm Douglas Gubert. I'll be replacing Rodrigo Nascimento today as the host for this podcast. He couldn't be with us in this episode, but everything should resume to normal next week. So I'm here today with our backend leader and co-founder Diego Sampaio, our cloud leader Aaron Noggle, our front-end leader Guilherme Gazzo, our mobile leader Diego Melo, and our omnichannel product manager Renato Becker. So I think I'll just go with what would be my part right now. So Doug, what news you have for the last week? Oh, okay. What we were working on a new event to be run on apps installation.
What an actor.
Thank you. Yeah, it took me a lot of practicing. Uh, we are working on a new event to be run at app installation. And probably uninstallation as well. So you'll be able to handle these events in your apps, like having some kind of context information as well. So like most common use case we can imagine for this will be notifying an external your external server that an installation has happened somehow. We're still working on the refactoring. It's been a bigger beast than we have anticipated, as you know it usually happens when you're working with software. And we are also having like a good review of our roadmap this week with some kind of like new directions. We'll probably come with some news on the next episode. And that's gonna be it for me. Thank you, Doug. Now, Diego, what's new with Sampaio? What's new with on the back end in this past week?
Hi guys, hi everyone. So yeah, last week I think one important notice is the release of the patch release for the 3.13 release. We found a few issues on the Teams implementation and others on the Omnichannel part of the product. So I guess Renato can talk more about that later. And for this week, we are still working on other bug fixes. This is our main focus for the next release. We are working on like many different bugs across the product. One interesting one I would like to mention is the one with related to previews of video files. It was affecting, like, I guess, like I've heard it was affecting iOS because iOS app because it was like, I don't know how it handles, but it ended up it was an feature we were not supporting on the file system storage type. So if you were using or are using file system as your storage type, that probably affects you. The reason behind was that the HTTP has a header where the client can request a range of the file to download. So I guess that's how browsers and the mobile app use to run a preview of the video. So we have added support for that, and that will come on the next release. And but that was interesting because I didn't know about that feature from HTTP, and for some reason we were not supporting that only on the file system implementation. Others, as Google Cloud Platform, Amazon, and they were, and GridFS, which is the default but not recommended for production environment, they all support. So yeah, that's us for this week. Thank you.
Okie doke. So, Aaron, what news do you bring?
What news do I bring from the clouds? um, this week, so actually, we fixed a bug with the Omnichannel and the Omni Gateway, rather, and the marketplace. There was a bug in the permissions that we found and corrected, and thanks to the apps team for getting a new engine version released, and everyone else getting it out the door with a patch release is pretty important for. We tried to install an app that required permissions from the marketplace. It wouldn't show the permission dialog, and so it's kind of an important fix to get out the door. The Melo's asking for the weather forecast. I don't have a weather forecast. I'm sorry, Melo. On the infrastructure, we're working on a lot of automation. Still, kind of this, this is always going to go on. So I'll mention this frequently, but I can't remember if I mentioned this before. But there's a pretty cool open source project from OVH where they have a bastion. Basically, like harden a bastion, allow access more easily, and actually be able to audit what's happening. So it's pretty cool. It's all written in Bash. It's pretty easy to modify, extend. So it's kind of a cool project that we found, and we've actually started working on implementing for our infrastructure. We're also working on automating our DigitalOcean marketplace release. Right now, this is kind of a script that we'd manually go run and then do the follow-up steps, converting this over to potentially Packer. Looks like is the current contender for this. Kind of an old tool, but it works pretty well. I think it's a HashiCorp project, more than likely. They make all the cool stuff for automation like that, so probably them. And finally, we're still hiring. So if you're a Golang developer, please apply. Jobs to Rocket.Chat. I still want you for my team. So that's it for the cloud team.
Nice. On the OVH script written in Bash, would you call it Bastion? No, yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, sorry about that one. Go ahead.
One actual important thing to mention is that the official Docker image for the 3.13.1 release is not available yet. I'll make sure it's available by the end of the day.
That is an important one.
Okie doke. So now the front end team, Glazu, are you okay? And what news do you have from last week?
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'm supposed to be okay. And I think the most exciting that we have from the last week, like we have been running React inside the Rocket.Chat for a long time. And usually these components were loaded by dynamic import, and usually these components were these components were delayed on the loading time. Then now we are running Blaze inside React instead, and this is like interesting. Like it doesn't change a lot how things work, but it's like a good step because we are like putting the Blaze on the right place, and we start to do things like hydration, like rendering HTML, and like before, like on the server. So this is like an interesting thing as well. And yeah, we had to change a lot the code, not to do that, but on SamePR we enforced our rules, and we configured the prettier for all the client files. So sorry if you open like any contribution before last week. Probably we checked the PR and update, because it's almost impossible that we will not find a conflict on the file. And yeah, that's it for from my side.
Okay, awesome. Does the running Blaze inside of React, like, are there any side effects, as I don't know, anything like
Good side effects or bad
good side
side effects?
effects?
I
The
think
bad
so,
side
because
effects, if we know about them, please don't share.
yeah, usually the bad things are the first things that people notice. But
Yeah.
yeah, because like when we start to write React components, usually those components were in a hidden or like not very hot place. People don't even use sometimes this components. And uh, as now the sidebar, the header, the all the console bars were, are written in React, doesn't make sense, like delay the React framework and the other dependencies to be loaded. So probably you will notice some first point uh, improvement, like when about this and but yeah, overall, like in if it's supposed to be the same, like still the message that are the main or the heart of the application are still running on Blade. So it's yeah yeah, that I cannot promise like a lot of improvements, but you should feel like it's small improvement. But
Okay,
yeah.
but it's a first step, right?
Yeah, sure. We are about to finish, or at least about to be able to test the new messages under the React. So then we can probably see the difference, or yeah, well, actually, this part has a lot of events, a lot of conditional things that is a mess to like organize all of this. But we are about to finish. I hope until the next release.
That's one small step for a
By
man.
by the next release, right? We are I don't know if until or by, but I think it's by.
One giant leap for mankind. Rocket tears.
Okay.
Rocket chat.
Rocketeer kind. Anyways. Okay, cool. Next, mobile. So Mellow, what news brings you
today? Hey guys, I didn't get. Is it Rocketeers or Rocketeers? Okay, bad jokes again. Anyways, we're releasing 4.16 in production for both on App Store and Google Play. It contains basic support to Teams feature, just chatting and navigating through the channels from a team. But there's also a lots of bug fixes and new end-to-end tests written, so regressions don't happen for those features. Blog post is going live soon, and the same for master branch and white label. Anyway, the plan for the next version, which is 4.17, is jump to message, which is what I've been working on. It might take still a few weeks to get ready. We need to work on a proof of concept on how to load and control really old messages from history. We've been also updating Detox, which is the test runner for mobile apps. The current version requires an old version of Xcode, so it's preventing us from updating to React Native 64. And also, this release is going to contain full support to themes. And that's it, guys. Thank you.
Alrighty. Damn tooling. Cool. So last one for us would be Omnichannel. So Renato, what news do you bring in this week?
Hey folks, so no big highlights to share, at least highlights related to the last week. Just one thing that might be useful for our audience. As you guys know, a set of UI and UX improvements came out with release 3.13, such as a new toolbox where agents can perform specific actions. And after the release 3.13, we realized that the ability to set room tags when closing conversations was not available anymore. So it was a very critical issue. So after that, the team looked into the problem, and fortunately, we found and fixed it. So this very critical issue has been released with our latest release, 3.13.1. And now talking about our next steps, we are focusing on new improvements, features, what we want to release in the current quarter, Q2. One interesting thing to mention is that finally, Rocket.Chat will provide its own an official WhatsApp integration. It's a new app. As you guys may know, currently our WhatsApp integrations work through third-party integrations such as Twilio. So now we are finally putting effort and in this. We, as I just mentioned, develop a new app, and we want to improve our WhatsApp integration a bit more. Like we want to support multiple WhatsApp numbers. This is not supported through our current integrations currently. And but also we want to add the ability to link multiple numbers to multiple departments, you know. So and also we want to improve the user journey when setting up omnichannel related apps. So the idea is to create a specific channel when the WhatsApp app is installed. So their admins will be able to interact with the app. They will be able to set up new features other than just relying on the app settings. So all these things are coming out with this new app, and this app is supposed to be released by the end of this month. Other important thing to mention is that, as you guys know, we are still focusing on improving UI and UX, the user journey of agents, managers, and so on. So one important improvement that is coming very soon is that we want to improve the visibility of the one existing feature, that is the ability to invite other agents to join the conversation. Currently, they can do that through /commands, but most of the agents, they are not even aware of that. They don't know that they can invite other agents. So this will be possible through a new UI element, you know. And also, sometimes managers, they want to know how many agents are assisting conversations. So it will be easier to find this information on this new UI and UX interface. So we are still in the designing process. I may have some news very soon. And the last thing to mention today is that we want to provide a kind of effortless setup when it comes to Omnichannel. We want to introduce Omnichannel to our setup wizard. You know, we want to reduce the time to value. Sometimes people are they sign up the platform, they go through our setup wizard, but Omnichannel is not part of that process. So it's time to improve this
this user journey. Let people know that we also support Omnichannel. We have our own customer service solution. So that's the plan. And yeah, that's it. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Yeah. Feature discovery is, I think, one of the pains we have on the product, right? There are tons of features and sometimes very hard to find them. So good to hear. Yeah, and I think that's a wrap. So thank you all for participating on this episode. Next week we'll be back with our normal programming, and see you soon, folks. Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.
You have listened to Engineering Podcast. This episode is available as video on YouTube and audio on your favorite podcast application. For more information, contact community at Rocket.Chat and give us your feedback.